Okay, so how are we going to set up our science? What I want to do this time, last map that I did, I kind of made each individual component and then ferried them over to what they needed to be put into, and I think that led to more spaghetti than just having it like this, where I have one thing being made and putting it directly into the next. I think that's probably better, just to have a like for example having a science making area versus having a wheel making area going to a science making area, and so on and so forth. So I think that's what I'm going to do. So with that, I need to get a bus going. I need to get that set up. So I'm just going to bring that out, bring it up. I'll connect it here. Not connect it, but I'll put it adjacent to our copper line. Let's make more belts. And then later on we can add more belts of iron to it and everything will be well. Probably. I don't know, I'm kind of making this up as it goes. Oh, that's a large amount of biters. I have my gun, right? There we go. You're not seeing the action, but I was shooting during that whole time. Let's get our armor on. It's already on, okay. That's why we survived, I guess. Let's see. What do we want now? We want to start looking at our green science. For sure. Probably behind on that. Let's start doing that. Fast inserters, though. So for green science, we're going to need the belts, and we're going to need inserters. So again, what I want to try to do is make all those in one particular area, rather than having an area for belts, having an area for inserters, and then putting them together into an area for science. That'll probably be a little bit cleaner. We can just like box it off in a small area versus having belts run all over the place. Okay. And I think that's good. So we have that. Really don't know how buses are supposed to work, quite honestly. But from my understanding, basically what you're trying to do is you're trying to get an area where you can just take the resources that you need for a particular spot and then split them off from the main line and then use that. And then that should be all you need. And then the rest will go on their merry way. But right now we only have one smelting area for both resources, so it's kind of dinky as the one line. Now let's make more copper mining going. Let's get that going, I mean. We have these already set up. Okay. I guess we can retire these guys. So now I'll show you what I mean by having it every other two. So just like that. So this way you can have them back to back, and one line will be a full line, and then the other line will just have every other two will have a pole. I think that's pretty good. I don't know what's better, having it this way or just having one entire line for just the poles. But that's the way I do it. So we're running out of things to make out of just red sides. So we really need to get our green sides going. That's probably what I should be making in my inventory right now while we are getting everything else set up. Okay, so from here, let's do red sides. So we need copper plates and we need iron gear wheels. Do we have the splitters? We don't. So I'm making those. Let's get these back. Sorry. Wanted those, but I'll get them back later. Objects are finished already. I'm gonna make a gun turret as well. So I can, they all come from this area. So if I put a gun turret here, it should cover the area well enough. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to split off some copper from this line, and then we'll bring the copper and we'll bring some iron up to this line, and we should be good. The iron will be made into iron gear wheels, and then subsequently put it into the science. So we'll do that up here. I could put it right here, but again, I want to have like dedicated sections for each thing, and so that means we're gonna have expansions and more things being put. So if I put it so close to the belts, then I kind of don't have the room later on. So we might have a lot of space later on in the game. That's fine. I think that's better than having no space. So we need to think of how we want to set this up, because we're going to want some iron gear wheels being fed with iron, and we want to put those in with red sides, and these will be fed copper. We're going to want, let's say, 4 science being made, four of these guys, 4 assembly machines worth being made at a time. I think that's acceptable. So each of these make pretty quickly, and these make pretty slowly. So I don't think I need 1 per 1. I think I need 1 for 2, for example. I don't know the ratio again. I'm just trying to figure it out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this, where I have it like this, and that way I can supply 2 assembly machines with 1 gear wheel making machine. And I think that should be decent. That's kind of how it looked like it was working over here. The problem is here that I need to supply these 2 with copper as well. So I need to figure out a clean solution to get the copper into these while also getting the iron into here. And then from there, should be pretty good. So we're just putting these up right now, see if we can figure out a better orientation for this. So how do we want to do this? What we could do, it wouldn't be very clean, but what we could do is we could have the iron here, for example, and then have copper split off into these, and then just like that, have it fed like that. I don't think that's a good solution. Or I could have one iron line and have this flipped over on this side. That might be the better solution. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. Problem is that I need to then congregate those two together to make all the science go into one spot. So for example, something like this. And then we'll have these go into one line, and then those will go into the labs. I'll put the labs over here, I think. Let's have a line of labs, so we can go make those right now. 10 is probably too many. So remember that time when I said I should be making a gun turret? Well, this is why, and they're getting my chests. So there goes a bunch of iron. That is very sad. But I deserve it. It's fine. Okay. So we lost like... this 800, so we lost like 2k iron. It's fine. We weren't using it anyways, right? Right. Okay, so let's get that turret up right now. Before this happens again. So they attacked here first. But before they attacked over here, so that's a problem. We might just want to go straight to the source and get rid of them there. Because they seem very random in how they're focusing me here. Let's connect this. I think that's all good. Yeah, alright. That's fine. I'll just have the two there for now. Okay, let's get our turret up. We'll put it right here. We have limited amounts of ammo, but we'll put them there. Check out this base. Actually, just right here. And there's a cliff, so I can actually shoot it from the cliff. I'll bring my turret with me. That'll probably be the smart thing. Let's make some more ammo real quick. Oh, they saw me. It's fine. Okay. Alright, so this is not a problem at all. I got pretty lucky with the cliffs. Cool. So that's not going to stop them from attacking. I'm still going to be attacked. But those were definitely the closest ones to me. Next ones are over here. They could be, like, for example, right here. The searchable area I have is only up to this point, so there could be a closer base as well. But that one was definitely the one that was attacking me right now. So I'm fine with that. We'll just put this one here. Kind of haphazardly placed, but it works. So I'm still thinking about this design here. I want to see if there's anything better that we could do. Because what I'm thinking that we should be doing, or what we could do here is having one line of copper supply both of these. And we'll just put them up between the four of them. I'm trying to think if there would be a better way to do this though. I'm sure there is. For example, these don't have to be right here. I could have them at ends like this. That'd be a little bit more compact. I think that's actually the smarter way to do it. That way I can have a line of copper just along the side here. Okay, cool. See? That's why we hesitate a lot. Because there's a lot of things that we could be doing better, and please take the time to think about it. We might actually do it. Although half the time that's not the case. That's fine, don't worry about it. Okay. So let's do that and make it look cleaner. So the way that we have this now is the iron is going to come up here. I'm going to have copper along the side here. Oops. I'm out of belts. I'm probably out of iron over there, so let's go feed that again. Did I ever make the repair pack? Apparently not. Oh. I got up here. I didn't realize that. Okay, well that was a rather expensive lesson learned that I should have already known, but hey, lesson learned. And if it's anything like my last map, we're gonna have a bunch of stocked up stuff anyways, so it's fine that we lost our stock there. Okay, so where my lab is here. Put those, and then we'll have this going again. Did we make the extra labs? No, so we're gonna make those. We have 10 now, once those are made. That's good. Alright. So I think this is decent. I'm just trying to think if there's any other way. You know, speak now. Let's see. I mean, I could have this out to the side here. And now that I'm thinking of it, that would technically be better. Dang it. Alright. So here's what I'm thinking. If you put it like this, then this line of copper only has to go this far, instead of having to go as far as this way like that. We'll put it down here. Okay, so once again, we have improved our situation here. We're learning. Whoops. So now the question we have to ask ourselves is this where we want it? Do we want it anywhere else? Let's see. This. Here. We need some undergrounds. Make more splitters, make more belts. Okay. So here's going to be our red science area. It's going to, you're going to be put onto a belt and ferried, say, over here. This is where I'm going to put all my science, in this area right here. And I think that's good. I think that's fine. Yeah, so that's what we're going to do. Let's power up this area. Okay, and then we need some long-handed inserters, so we're gonna need more inserters made. Let's get these bars off the line, so where it's not backed up anymore. And let's look at our next science. So out of all these, they're all very expensive. Let's see. Let's start on military too. Faster we get grenades, the better. We can take out more bases easier. We can get rid of all these trees and all that. And there's not really anything else I want to use it for right now, so. Was that 30? It's 20, so we'll be able to finish that research off with the handmade stuff. We're done here. So we're going to take these off. Bring that down. We'll probably have to alter this later, but right now, this will do. Okay, so once those belts are made, I'm going to bring them up there. Let's get our electricity down here. There you go. Alright, and then we wanted to make long-handed inserters, so let's do that. We're kind of out of things to research, huh? I'm gonna keep doing the red science here real quick, because we're still pretty behind on the green science. Let's make sure that this works. Yep, alright. So from here, we're gonna want science being outputted that way. Okay, that's acceptable, I believe. We're running out of belts here. Okay, and then we'll connect these two, and then bring that line all the way over here, where I am going to put my labs. After playing with one of my viewers, I've realized that the way I was doing science before was not the best way. I think this is easier this way. Before I used to stock up all the science that I had into a chest and then had those inputted into one lab and then bring it down the line. But now I realize there's no reason to do that because you should really only make your science at the rate that you're using it. And if you're backed up, you're backed up because you're not using all of it. So it's just a waste of resources to have it be stocked up into a chest. So I will expound on that more once we get that set up. So let's take a look at what's going on over here. That's all good. Good. So we're gonna need to add more iron here soon. And probably more coal too. As you can see, we're up to this point. It's still pretty saturated. It's not really a problem, but the more that we add, it's going to be eventually. Okay. So that will go there. Probably not the best way to do it, but hey. Get rid of this rock. JK. No, stop. Darn it. Let's start over here. See, now it's too far. Okay. There we go. And connected. All right. So now we have red science being automated. And now we need green science automated ASAP. Okay, let's go grab our labs from down here and put them up here. And then we'll also, when we're on our way back, we'll put more poles there. Okay, give me these. Clean it up. Right. We're not looking too bad so far. I think we're doing pretty well. Get our electricity. Good enough. For me, at least. Alright. There we go. So the way that the inserters work are they work where they only work if they need to, basically. And labs only take one science at a time, and they give you a buffer of one cycle. So that would be another one science. So now you can have two in here at a time, basically. You can put more manually if you want to do, like I can put 53 in here, up to 200. But you don't need to, because it only ever uses one at a time. So by having the one in here, this is the amount you'll use at this pace, and you won't have any downtime because the inserter will always put one in there when it needs to. The way I had it before, I would put this excess into a chest and have it stocked up. That just means that I'm storing it for no reason because it's already using them as quick as I can. The only way to fix that would be to make more labs, and at that point I thought I had enough labs already, so. So this will be good. Once this is backed up, then I don't need to worry about this anymore. You know, it's done. Okay, let's make these in here. So we have red science done. Next we want to look at our green science, which needs a transport belt, which is definitely needed. All game. And inserters. Another thing needed all game. So let's figure out how to do that. So let's look at transport belts first. Transport belts need iron plates and an iron gear wheel. If we follow the same trend of making our science up here, we'd like to make the transport belts in one location here and the inserter next to it, and input those into a green science assembly machine. So this is not how it's going to look, but I'm just, for the sake of my demonstration here, something like this, you know, where we have one thing here being put into one thing here, and then we'll have that output onto a line brought into this, like how it is right now. Let me actually change this real quick, because we're going to want them on the same belt to save space. So that means I want to put all the red signs onto the same side of the belt. So to do that, we're just going to think really hard right now because let's see, how are we going to do this? Do some wonky stuff like this. That does not work. Give me a second. I'm making our beautiful thing into a Frankenstein monster, excuse me. But this is fine. I think if there's a better way I could do this. Because right now, this way I'm putting them all onto the right side of the belt, which is preferable, because we're gonna want the green science on the left side of the belt. Let's make sure that we're always crafting. So I'm just gonna make a lot of green science while we're thinking this up. There's a better way to do this. I mean, technically we could use a splitter. That would definitely help. We could use an underground belt. That would probably be better. Do we have any with us? Yeah. So I'm going to use an underground belt just to clean this up a little bit, because I don't like the look of that at all. And it's not going to look much better, but it's going to look a tiny bit better if we do it this way. There. I think that's acceptable. It's a little bit better than before. And that way they're all on the right side. Thank you, Shred Baron. I think it looks legit too. But hello, thank you. We're doing our best here. I'm not the best Factorio player, but I'm starting to understand it a little bit better. Problem is that we're super behind on our science now, so that's what I'm working on. Get our next thing going. What do we want? All these things are super expensive. Shred Baron, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. But, see, all these things are good, but I am kind of far away from using them, you know? So, let's see. That would be good. Let's work on this. So now we need to work on getting steel up as well, so we can start using that when we're ready. So I'm gonna just do a makeshift steel making area right here. We'll clean this up later, but for now, this will serve our purposes. We're always short on something. We need to make some inserters now. What mods am I using? This is vanilla. Do you have any mods you would recommend? I haven't been a mod user, so I don't know any of the good mods. But I'm very open to checking them out and using them. Let's see. Let's stop this. Because we need the inserters. And then we'll do that. Yeah, right? Right? Definitely. I know there are a couple good ones. One of them I was looking at was the shoot, I forgot what it's called, but it's the one that shows the light on each production facility, showing them if they're in use or they're limited by something. That's definitely one of them I was looking at and I want to get, but I need to figure out how to get mods into the game first. I'm sure it's not that difficult. I just need to do it. Okay, so now we have some steel being made. We'll, again, come back to this and clean it up later. I'm not going to leave this here in the long run, but it's good to have now. Okay, so name of the game is getting sidetracked and doing a lot of things that I wasn't doing before. So we really need to get this going. How do we do this? We need, for the inserters, we need iron plates, iron gear wheel, and an electronic circuit. Yikes. For an electronic circuit, we need iron plate and 3 copper cables. That's a lot. Okay, so this is going to be a kind of large section here in comparison to the red science, because it needs more stuff. Transport belt, we have iron plate and iron gear wheel. That's not too hard to do. It's basically going to be something like this. So the main thing right now is we need to get our circuits going. So we can get this here. Again, the last map I did, I kind of made those things separate, and then I put them here. I probably want to do that for circuits. Circuits is good all game round, basically, so that would be worth making a separate location for those. But where do I want to do that? I want to just do it here, but then we have to think of what else we need to do. Up here is going to be my science area. That means this area right here is going to be any production things that we need to do. Let's see. Just 1 second. Someone is knocking on my door at 2 a.m. Just a second. Okay, still alive. Don't worry. That was a little weird. Apparently, they were looking for a door number, whatever. Okay, let's see. What are we doing? We're doing this. So how do we want to do this? Again, we're going to do something similar for the transport belts, but we want to have a similar setup, or a similar number of signs being put out as these 4 red signs. So we're going to need 4 green signs being made. I do know that these output pretty quickly, so I think we don't need 1 for 1. So let's try to figure out our ratio. Okay, we might actually be able to use this iron belt here that we already split off, because it's just being used for this one, for these gear wheels, which make rather quickly and don't use too many. So I'm going to grab this here. And this is where the spaghetti begins. We all knew it was coming. I was just hoping it wouldn't be this early. So for this, we're going to want to make our transport belts. It's going to be iron plates and iron gear wheels. So plates are here. Gear wheels are going to be made also from here. So I think what I want to do is have something like this, where I would put a belt of iron, just like this. Dang, I'm out of belts already. So I'd put something like this, where I would have the iron come up here. And now we're out of inserters. Amazing. Man. I need to get these. We're gonna do this real quick. We're making this now, but I need these a little bit quicker. So we're gonna insert some stuff here. Just manually make them through the assembly machine. Okay, so while we wait for these wheels being made, we need to get more iron. That's why we have the box. Now we have a lot of iron at our disposal. I guess I'll take that back. Dang it. I chose the wrong thing. Let's try that again. We want inserters being made, because I don't have the circuits yet. And make this into belts. Did not mean to pick that up. Oh man. Now I need a chest. Okay, it's fine. We'll make a chest in another assembly machine. Let's see, there we go. Make a couple. That's good. And nope. This here. Okay. So now we have the makeshift area here while we work on the real area. So my idea here is that we're going to have a line of iron coming off here, being supplied here, and then the iron will come here, enter this, iron will come here, enter this, and we'll put all the wheels being made here into here. I think that is pretty decent. Let's move this up a little bit. Fortunately, this new area I made has gotten in the way. That should kind of do it for now. A lot more belt than I kind of want to use, but hey, it'll work, right? So now this whole area that I just made is completely pointless. That's the way of things. Alright, that's fine. So we have our belts, and they're being made. We need 1 belt per green science. So that's actually, these make really quickly. Like, see, 2 are made per round. So that's definitely way faster than I need for the green science to be made. So we're going to want some of these being put into a green science machine, and some of them being saved for later on when we can make red belts. So we might want to have 2 of these, which is easily done. We just flip it over. And voila. So now we have a nice amount of belts being made. I'll take this away now, because that's all that all that extra work for nothing. That's fine. I'll put these into chest for now while we're thinking up the rest of it. Let's continue making sure that we're always crafting something. And let's put these into the science area. And now see, it's backed up, and now we won't be wasting resources, because once this is completely backed up, the inserters won't work. And we won't be making things that we won't be using. So that's nice. Okay, so again, we need to put these into a green science facility assembly machine. So do I want to use both of them and then grab it from there, or do I just want to use the one and put those in the save 4 assembly machines that I'll be using? I think for sure this one will be able to provide enough transport belts for 4 assembly machines. So I'm just going to leave it like this. I'm going to have this one input to this chest, and I'll put this on a belt that will go into the assembly machines. I think that will be pretty good. So, but for now I'm going to leave it like that. So now we have to think of how are we going to make our inserters. They require the same resources as a belt plus an electronic circuit. And the circuits need copper wire and iron plates. So, that means is that we can do something very similar to this setup. We just need to add a copper, an electronic circuit to this side, for example. So, let's see. How are we going to do that? I definitely think we're going to need another line of iron. We've kind of used up the no longer saturated. Luckily we do have this steel going, so we can start making some steel furnaces later once this is done. And those will go a little bit faster. How fast do inserters make out of an assembly machine? That's kind of what I want to check. Okay, pretty quickly. So we're gonna need the supply. I think I can supply 4 green science machines being made with the one. So this makes one basically every second, right? And the green science is not used that quickly, I think. So I think we'll be safe with just the one for now. So what I want to do right now is set up a circuit area. Because again, electronic circuits are needed all throughout the game. So it's helpful to have a dedicated area just for circuits. So what I want to do is we need iron and we need copper. Copper's right here. I'm thinking if I want to just use this line right now, or do I want to split it off? And I should definitely split it off, because we'll probably need it for something else. But we'll just put it at the end here. And the next question is, do I want to make it horizontal or vertically? Probably is better horizontally. The way that I'm gonna make them is, I was told the ratio is 3:2, I believe. I need to make more assembly machines. It's 3:2, so I'd have 3 copper cables. This is flipped. Try that again. I'd have 3 copper cables into 2 electronic circuits. So the way that I could do that is I could split this so it's on the outside, have the one line supply the 2 sides of copper, or I could have it like this where the electronic circuits are going to be on the outside. It'd be helpful if I had the assembly machines to show, but let's see. I think what I want to do is I want to have the circuits all into one line versus having 2 separate lines. So we're going to do something very similar to our smelting area. The copper is going to be on the outside into the assembly machines and being put into the middle here, the circuits. Let's just make our assembly machines. We have 25 being made, 20 being made. And remember that we do need to put in iron, so we're going to need some underground belts to get that situated. Okay, we're going to put this into our science area. Let's check out the rest of our factory for now, make sure that everything's going well. Our electricity is fine. Copper looks saturated, which is good. Iron also looks saturated, so no problems there. We can double this once we get our steel that's being researched right now. So that will be a nice boon to our factory. How are we doing over here? We're running half of the mining that we were doing before. Let's just turn these around actually. And let's fix the problem before it appears. And we'll clean up the poles a little bit. Okay. And we still have this running. I don't know why, but it's good. We'll just leave that there. Okay. So now that all of those are made, we can set down our initial run through here. So what I'm thinking is I want to have this horizontally. I want to have do I want it horizontally? Sorry, let me think this through. Because we do want some electric circuits to go up here to our science area, because that's going to be needed for the inserters. But we don't want all of them to be going there. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a vertical electronic circuits area set up here. I think that's probably the best. What do we want to make next? Blue science. We'll start that research. Okay, so we definitely don't have the throughput for all of the things that we need for our circuits, but I'm gonna set it up just so we don't have to do it later, you know? It's good to plan for the future than plan for right now in the short term. So I'm just gonna have this set up. So that will be 8 electronic circuits being made. 8 here. And then these are gonna be copper cables. And I think that will be good. I don't think I could extend this further up here, but I don't think we're going to have enough product to be put through here and have it satisfied, even if we do have more. So I'm now thinking that I should have put it horizontally. That's fine. It's fine. We're going to leave it this way, because thinking too much is a problem for me. So we're just going to be content with how we have it. And it's going to look something like this. There we go. And then we still need an iron line through here, because we need 1 iron plate in addition to the 3 copper cables. So we're gonna do some magic with underground belts to get that all set. Let's get these done real quick. Are we making anything? We're not making anything. Always be crafting, guys. Always be crafting. What do we need right now? We need more inserters. We have belts being made. We have splitters. I'll make more, and then I'll put the rest into green science. Okay, so that's that. I don't want to put anything there because I need to do my underground belts for the iron. And now that I'm thinking about this, I've spaced this incorrectly. We need 1 more line on both sides. I could make it work like this. I could, but it's better just cut our losses, redo it. It's fine. Okay, so let's try that again. Let's do this one side first, and then we can flip it and make sure that we know what we're doing. So I'm going to have a line of iron coming up this way. So I need that. Grab it there, grab it there. And I can output there. Let's see, something like this should work just fine. Okay, so with the iron line, it'll come up here, and it'll grab the iron from here, and output it onto this. And same with here. It'll take the iron from here, put it into these, and output it. So for the output, we could just do something like this. And that will be good enough. Trying to think if there's a better way to do this. But I think this is fine. Yep. Alright. So we're just going to mirror this. We'll start from the bottom. It'll be easier to put these underground belts. It's a little ugly. I wish it was a little bit better, but I think this will serve us fine. Oops. There we go. And what do we want to research? Let's do an engine. There we go. And I think we're ready for our iron. So let's go grab that after we put these inserters in. So, as you can see, our throughput is pretty mediocre. And when I say mediocre, I mean poor. Let's stop this for now. Let us... We're gonna pull this forward. And we'll need to add more to our iron line. But first, let's just make sure this works. I'll go through here. It's good. So let's get our electricity settled. I think that's good. All right. And there we go. Now we should have circuits being made. A bit slowly because our iron isn't Great. We're gonna need to add another smelting area.